There are movies that you have a great time watching and they stay with you for weeks and years to come. Then there are movies that you enjoy while you're watching them, but are basically forgetful and they leave a not so good aftertaste. And then there's something that I experienced while watching a movie recommendation of this week, Bullet Train. And that experience is what I'm going to be talking about today, of what this movie made me feel that no other movie from this year has been able to. Now, this movie is a very fast paced action thriller. So there are tropes that it adopts that you've probably seen in a lot of quick paced action movies. There's quick editing, martial artsy action sequences, people talking over each other. You know, the kind of movies that you associate Tarantino and Guy Ritchie with. So this movie is all that, right from start to finish. So if you want to see something like that, trust me, you're going to have a great time. And also, it's got a great story. I'm not going to go into it, not because I don't want to spoil it, but because it's not something that I can incorporate in a 5-minute video. There's literally so much happening here. You're going to spend the first half hour just trying to comprehend everything that's going on. There are about four stories that you start to keep on pace with, and that itself is overwhelming. But shit hits the fan when these stories start to converge with each other. So, one recommendation that I want to give is that if you, like me, also have a short attention span and are a bit slow in grabbing stuff, then watch it with the subtitles. Just follow the yellow brick subtitles. And this is where I want to talk about what makes this movie so special. Because while I was watching this movie, it reminded me a lot of older movies like Hot Fuzz and Snatch. So, why does a movie so derivative stay with me days after I've watched it? And I've thought about it, and what I could infer is that the answer lies in the details. The effort that has been put into every scene and every dialogue is so visible. You can see the level of commitment that they've put in everything that's being tried here. That I feel did the trick. And even though on the surface it looks like a hunky dory action thriller, but when you dig deep, you realize that every single thing is multi layered. I really would want to see the storyboard that they created for this. Because after the first half or so, when you start to get a grip on the whole mess that these characters have caused, you really start to think how they'll take this forward. But this is where the movie scores big. This is where the movie's core strength lies. It keeps on piling up the surprises and the bodies with every minute that passes. And that I feel is a tough thing to achieve. This is something that I've not seen in a movie in a long time. Amping up the suspense with every scene and still managing to wrap every single thing by the end. So when you get to the end, it sort of feels rewarding. The last thing that I want to talk about that you should be looking forward to when you're watching Bullet Train is the humor. The premise itself is so hilarious. The pacifist who's also an assassin. So in the whole movie, he's just constantly in conflict with himself. That was really interesting and funny to see. But as great as the scenes are, as hilarious as the scenes are, I think the man who stole the movie for me was Brian Tyler Henry as Lemon. He's always been hilarious in Atlanta with his blank, judgy looks and funny quips. So obviously they made his character British here. His acting combined with his dry wit is just chef's kiss. Plus his obsession with Thomas the Tank Engine. There's a scene where he's explaining how everything that he has learned about people is through Thomas the Tank Engine, and that every human being can be equated with a character on the show. He does it so convincingly that at one point you start to believe that it actually might be true. So that was it. Now, if I have to sum up this movie, I would say that this is a movie version of that brain meme where after every level your mind gets blown even more. The only condition here is that you need to pay attention. It demands your attention. Maybe that's why this movie didn't get much critics' love. It's because the vibe is similar to a lot of other movies, but when you actually look further inside, you notice that there's so much more to uncover. Thanks for watching the video. And speaking of uncovering things, I'm sure you haven't done the same with so many of our other videos. Are action movies not your thing? Don't worry. We've got playlists for other genres as well. So please make sure to subscribe to Cremechiss to make this your one stop shop for movie recommendations. Bye.